Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God, most compassionate, most merciful. Your Excellency, the President of the General Assembly, Your Excellency, the Secretary General, Your Majesty, Your Highness, Your Excellencies, peace be upon you. At the outset, I would like to welcome you all to Doha, wishing you a pleasant stay. The State of Qatar takes pride in hosting this summit, which is held 30 years after the first summit in Copenhagen in 1995. This is an occasion to reiterate the spirit of solidarity and international cooperation to address challenges that hinder economic development and slows down human development, a matter that threatens social security. We do believe in the importance of collective work on matters that should not cause divergence, and we are keen to enhance social development and to support international efforts to eradicate poverty, increase job opportunities, and to take all efforts necessary to uphold human dignity to achieve a better and more equitable future for all. In this occasion, we do commend the efforts made by Mr. Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, which represent his interest in developing the work of the United Nations organization. We would like also to thank the DESA at the United Nations for the efforts made towards the coordination and organization of this summit. Dear guests, social development is not a choice, it's an existential necessity, and whilst we celebrate this year the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, we should take the opportunity of this summit to reiterate and to recommit ourselves to the Charter of the United Nations and multilateral efforts, together with doubling down on our efforts to enshrine social development as a main foundation for security and stability for all. At the national level, the State of Qatar has attached special importance to social development and has achieved clear progress according to the indications issued and published by competent international organizations, and we work on improving the quality of life, welfare, and prosperity, in addition to developing education, economic empowerment, health and family care, as well as social protection. The State of Qatar, through the Ministry of Family and Social Development, has launched its 2024-2025 strategy under the slogan From Care to Empowerment, which is based on creating a community and a society that is based on the equality of opportunities, and which comes in line with the 2030 vision of the state. At the international level, we are cognizant of the fact that challenges hinder social development as poverty and social inequality and unemployment. All this calls upon us to make consolidated efforts, and we cooperate closely with the United Nations in this regard, and we have spared no efforts towards honoring our undertakings and our commitments towards this goal. The State of Qatar will continue to be an active partner in the international community, and we will continue to support all efforts of social development through the aids and contributions made by Qatar to several countries and societies through the Qatar Development Fund and the Qatar Charity Association. Dear guests, the bare minimum that we need in order to show seriousness in our addressing all these challenges, such as challenges related to environment and human rights, is to uphold our commitments. When it comes to social development, this needs to translate the commitments that we have made as countries in the Copenhagen Declaration. This should be translated into reality by addressing the gaps in the implementation of those commitments, and to give priority to out-of-the-box and creative solutions, in addition to building partnerships and to be persistent on the road of achieving the 2030 Agenda. The Doha Declaration that was adopted in this summit is the fruit of relentless efforts and unwavering work, as well as consultations that were held in New York, and it is an ambitious document towards the achievement of the desired social development. And in this regard, we would like to commend the efforts of Belgium and Morocco and the United Nations for their efforts towards the facilitation of intergovernmental consultations and negotiations. And we are confident that the Doha Declaration, which reiterates and stresses the moral and socio-economic vision of social development that is based on human dignity and human rights, as well as equality and peace, will give impetus and momentum that accelerates the achievement of the 2030 Agenda, and this will represent a roadmap and a robust foundation to address all social development issues, especially poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion. It's impossible to achieve social development in any societies without peace and stability, and we do believe that constant peace and not temporary settlements is just peace. And it's very obvious, it goes without saying, that the Palestinian people need all forms of aid to be able to recover from the devastation that was caused by the Israeli occupation and the apartheid system in Palestine. We call upon the international community to double down on its efforts and to provide support to the Palestinian people for reconstruction and to secure the basic needs for this resilient people until justice is administered and until they manage to exercise their legitimate rights on their territories. When it comes to peace and stability, I would like to conclude by saying and by mentioning that we were shocked by the atrocities that were committed in Al-Fashir in the Sudan, where we, in need for another piece of evidence to recognize that any manipulation of stability in countries will eventually lead to such shocks and catastrophes and carnage. The Sudan has been going through this carnage and manslaughter for 2.5 years. It's high time we stopped this carnage. We need to achieve a political solution that achieves the territorial integrity and stability of the Sudan. Dear guests, our success will only be measured by our ability to represent and to translate our commitments to tangible procedures, which are translated into social development for all, especially in developing countries. And together we can transform this summit into an important juncture that gives rise to steps that would eventually contribute to transferring and translating our slogans of peace and prosperity into a lived reality. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate my welcoming of you to Doha, and I wish that this summit would lead to its desired goals. Thank you, and peace be upon you.